Hi, everyone. Okay, so I'm going live on Instagram and YouTube. So YouTube, hi, Instagram, hi. So that's the reason for me looking in different directions. So let me just wait until this loads. Hi, everyone. So for the people that have just joined, I just said that I'm going to be going live on YouTube and Instagram. So if you see me looking somewhere that's not at the camera, it's because I'm looking at either YouTube or Instagram. Hi, thanks for coming. Thank you for coming. Okay. All right, let's get started. So this is going to be a really short live, just on some practical tips to help you deal with stuffy sinuses and congested sinuses. So this time of year, a lot of people suffer from allergies, and it can be made worse by things like, stress and stuff like that. So I'm just going to show you 3 practical tips, things that you can do with herbs and herb stuff to help combat that sinus congestion. Because sinus congestion is not great. It's not pretty. If it's really bad, you can get really bad headaches. It can cause a lot of pressure here. It can make you feel tired. And yeah, it's not really fun when you can't breathe properly and you can't smell the things that you want to smell or taste the foods properly that you want to taste. So everybody hates sinus congestion. So this is just a very short live and tips to help you deal with sinus congestion. So hi everyone, how was everybody's day, by the way? I don't know where you're joining from the world, but I'm in London, England, and it's 6:30 here. So for some of you, it might be morning. But yes, how's everybody's day? I'm just waiting for a few more people to join. Hi, everyone. Hi, Ricky. Thanks for joining. So again, I'll just reiterate, that's the ice cream van. So I'm going to be sharing 3 quick tips, super fast, on how to help deal with sinuses. Hi, Nutritious Motherhood. Thanks for joining, darling. You're from California, so yeah, I'm sure. I don't know what time it is in California, but I think either early afternoon or good morning to you. Hi, Elizabeth. Yeah, time is going real quick. Hi, Inner Health Journey. I wish I knew your real names, but yeah. Hope you don't mind me referring to you by your tag, your Instagram handle. So as I said, 10 a.m. Wow, okay. Minnesota, nice. So I'm doing the live today on Instagram, which is here, and YouTube. I've never done this before, so forgive me if I'm a bit faffy, but Instagram's here and YouTube is there. So if I do look away, it's because I'm looking at either one or the other. So yeah. Oh, nice. Early afternoon. Hi, everyone. Okay, perfect. So there's a few of you on now. So I'm going to just start this. So again, this YouTube live or Insta live is on practical tips for sinus congestion. So many people are suffering from sinus congestion at the moment because of allergies, like hay fever, or even allergies to anything else. So it's important to know. I know I'm doing it in spring, but sinus and congestion issues are not only they don't only come about in spring. Not everybody has hay fever, but some people just have allergies or are prone to getting stuffy sinuses. So this can be, these remedies can be used whatever time of year, and it's not just for hay fever. But because hay fever is really common at the moment, that's kind of why I'm sharing it. Yes, Mabel, this will be saved. Hopefully, because you know what my luck is like with saving lives, but hopefully this will be saved. But if it is not saved, then you can always go on YouTube, because I'm doing it on YouTube too, and I'm sure it will be saved on YouTube. All right, and feel free to ask any questions as I'm showing you these tips if they're not clear or you want some clarification. All right, let's start. So sinus congestion. The first tip that I'm going to show you is a tea. Now, this is a tea. It's made up of 3 herbs, but it could also be used in tincture format too. I kind of like it in the tea format, especially when you've got blocked sinuses, because there's something about the hot water, you drinking the hot water, that just helps to open up the blood vessels in the area so blood can come to and fro. And it just helps to kind of, open your pores more. And anytime you do use something hot, like anything that you inhale that's warm or steamy, it can help to relieve that sinus congestion. So the 3 herbs that I'm going to be using for this mix are elderflower. So that's elderflower. That's in season in the UK. What will be coming pretty soon. That's going to be blossoming. We have plantain. So this is, a lot of people, when I mention plantain on the Instagram, a lot of people think of plantain, the fruit, the banana that we usually eat in food, but it's not that. It's a herb called plantain, and we use the leaves of this herb. So that's elderflower, plantain, and then we've got eyebright. So these are 3 herbs. The reason why these herbs are very useful in sinus congestion is because they are what we call mucous membrane restoratives. And what these herbs do, they have some astringent properties. And what that means is they just help to tighten up the mucous membranes. So your mucous membranes line your nose, your sinuses, your throat. And sometimes when we have sinus congestion and irritation, your membranes, or the cells of your membrane, start to put out a lot of mucus. And this is partly what causes the stuffiness. So we want something that's going to help to kind of tighten up those mucous membranes, restore them, and make it so that they're not going to put out so much mucus, so you won't be as stuffy. So what you can do, if you just have the herbs separately, what you can do, you can put them all in one jar. So what I would do is just mix equal amounts of each herb in one jar until it's full, especially if you're going to be drinking this tea on a daily basis, which I always recommend. So make it so it's full and they're in equal amounts, and then you can just take some out. If they're separate, it's just a bit longer, but it's fine. So maybe you were saying there's you thinking that you needed to fry plantain. No, plantain. No, definitely not. It's nice, but it won't really help with your sinus congestion. So what I normally do is, you can get some tea bags like this, empty tea bags. You can get them from Amazon. I can send you a link, or you can find a link on my Amazon shop after this video. Let me know if you can't find it, but you can just buy some empty tea bags like this. And what I would do, I'll just put a scoop of each of the herbs in here. So a big scoop of elderflower, then I'll put a big scoop of the eyebright, and then just put a big scoop of the plantain. Now, some of you might be asking how much exactly, but when a standard dosage for an infusion or a tea is basically 1 to 2 heaped teaspoons to 1 cup of water. Sometimes you can have a bit more, though, if you want the mix to be a bit more potent or more concentrated. Especially for something like stuffed sinuses, I like to make my infusions really strong to make them more effective. So I've put 1 spoon of each of those herbs, and then just tie it and pop it in some hot water. So just boil the kettle, put this in a cup, fill it up with hot water, and just let it sit, cover it and let it sit for about 15 to 20 minutes. And after that, you can remove the tea bag. I like to keep the tea bag in and just sip that slowly. And you should have at least 3 of these a day. If you want it to be effective, or you want to see some results, then have it at least 3 times a day. So that's 3 cups of the plantain, eyebright, and plantain mix. So I hope that was clear. If you've got any questions, you could also do this, as I said earlier, in tincture form. So you could mix equal amounts of these tinctures together and just take, like, 5 meals 3 times a day. But as I said, there's something about teas. Sometimes I actually take tinctures and teas, so it could be the same herbs, but there's something about sipping a hot cup of tea just helps you relax. It opens up the airways and just helps to release sinus congestion that way too. So that's the first tip I'm sharing. I can see a question there, so I'll get to that. Let me get to that now. Okay, so I've got another question that's not actually on sinuses, so I'll see if I can get to that. This is just a really quick live with 3 tips that I'm sharing for stuffy sinuses. So that was the first one. So the next one is a steam inhalation. That's what we call it. We call it a steam inhalation. So some of you might already know what a steam inhalation is, but it's very simple to do. You can do it with minimal tools. All you need is a bowl. So you can get a bowl, maybe this size, or a pot or a bucket, literally anything that you can put hot water in and that it's safe to put hot water in. So you fill the bowl with hot water, about 2/3 of the way. And then you want to put essential oils. Now, if you don't know, I'm sure most of you know what essential oils are. If you don't know what an essential oil is, it's basically the essence of a plant. So, those plants that you can smell, they're quite aromatic. So things like peppermint, eucalyptus, lavender, thyme. There's so many oils that there's so many plants that produce essential oils, and it's like a really concentrated essence of the plant. So they're usually extracted by a process called steam distillation, and what you end up with is like an oil, and it's not an oil like olive oil or coconut oil. It's an essential oil, so it's very potent, it's very aromatic, and they're really effective. So you only need to use them in drop dosages. So what I would normally do is, as I said, fill up that bowl with hot water, maybe 2/3 of the way, and then put just a couple drops of essential oils in there. Now, my favorite essential oils to use I'll give you 3: peppermint, eucalyptus, and thyme. So you can use all 3. You can use 1 drop of all 3. You can just use one of them. Use whatever you've got or whatever you can get hold of, but just literally 1 or 2 drops is enough. And make sure when you're doing this, you make sure the water is a little bit cool enough for you to put your face over and not get burnt. So you want to put boiling water in there. Just let it cool down for a little bit, because what you're going to do is you're going to allow the steam to enter your nose and your nasal passages. And obviously, even if the water is hot, but if the water is hot, then the steam that comes out is also going to be hot. So you don't want to burn yourself. So make sure you can just kind of put your face over to test it and see if it's hot enough, cool enough for you to do that. We don't want it to be too cool, because we still want steam to come out to actually make this thing work. So get a bowl, hot water 2/3 of the way, wait till it cools down a tiny bit, then add 1 to 3 drops of the essential oil. So you can use thyme, eucalyptus, and peppermint, all 3 of them, or you can just use 1, whatever one you have. And then you're going to put your face over the bowl, and then you just want like a towel or a blanket, put it over your head, and what you want to do is trap the steam in the bowl. So you want to put your face over the bowl and trap, make sure there's no holes. So you're making like a mini sauna for your sinuses, a mini sauna for your head. So you trap the heat in, and you just do this for as long as possible. So sometimes I like to do it in intervals. I do it for as long as I can do, and then I come up for a minute, then I go again until the water's cool. And what this does, this instantly relieves that congestion. It opens up your airways. And if you start to feel a bit human again, you'll start to feel like you can breathe and you can smell stuff. So that's my second tip. Thank you, beautiful Soul Angel. And the third and final tip is it's called a hot compress. It's not a hot compress, it's hot and cold. And what this is you're going to get 2 flannels. So this is quite big, but just get a small flannel like the ones you would wash with. 2 of them, and you want 1 of them to be soaked in hot water and 1 to be soaked in cold water. And what you it's best probably just to get 2 bowls, one with the hot water in and one with the cold water. And what you want to do, you want to do it as hot as you can do it and as cold as you can do it. So 1 rag or 1 flannel will be in the hot water, and what you want to do is get it out of the hot water. Make sure it's not too hot so it's going to burn you, but hot enough. Squeeze out the excess water, and then just place that rag over your sinuses. So it's kind of over your nose area and the middle of your forehead. So just pop it there, and what you want to do is put that hot one on there for as long as you can stand it. Well, actually, just do it until it cools down. So when you first put it on, it's going to feel hot, not hot enough that it's going to burn you, but just hot. And then when it starts cooling down, then you can change it to the cold one. So I normally like to do intervals of about a minute. So I do 1 minute hot, 1 minute cold, 1 minute hot, 1 minute cold. And what that's doing, that's kind of, it's allowing your blood vessels to open up and allow blood to come to the area and blood to be moved from the area too. So you're kind of giving that area fresh nutrition. You're opening up the pores. You're giving that, you're increasing blood circulation in that area. And what that's going to do is going to help just to relieve some of that congestion in that area. So that's hot and cold compress. And what I like to do sometimes with the compress is, if the flannel is small enough and you can concentrate it just to, this kind of area, just put 1 drop of lavender. So lavender essential oil, 1 or 2 drops on the hot compress. So when the hot water's on it, the compress is going to be hot. And when you put the drops of lavender essential oil on it, it's going to kind of act like a steam thing. So you're going to be smelling the lavender essential oil. And what you want to do is just, wherever you put the drop, just concentrate that right in this area, that sinus area. And the reason why I like lavender is because it's anti-inflammatory, so it's going to help with inflammation, but it's also calming. And a lot of the time, stress can actually aggravate or make your sinus congestion worse. So we want anything that's going to calm you down. So doing the hot and cold compress, and when you do the hot one, just put a drop or 2 of lavender, and that will be beautiful. So I hope, sorry, I haven't really been looking at this side much, just because I've got some questions and stuff here. But yeah, those are the 3 tips that I'm giving you for sinus congestion. So the first one was a tea blend of plantain, elderflower and eyebright. These are mucous membrane restoratives, and they're going to help just to reduce some of that mucus being formed and being let out into your nasal passages. So that's the tea blend. Then you have what was the next one? It was the steam inhalation. So the steam inhalation with either eucalyptus, peppermint, or thyme, or a mixture of all of them. I just want to also mention that those essential oils have good, really potent antiseptic, antimicrobial properties. So sometimes with sinus congestion, infection can be the cause of the congestion, or it can come about when there's congestion there for a long time. So inhaling these essential oils like you would do in a steam inhalation is going to be really good, a good antimicrobial, so to help fight any infection that you have up there. And then the third one was hot and cold compresses. So 2 flannels, 1 really hot, 1 really cold. Wring out the excess water and just put the hot one there for 1 minute, change it to the cold one and put that there for 1 minute, and just keep swapping over, and do this for about 10 minutes or however long you feel comfortable. If you're sitting down on the sofa doing nothing, or just watching telly, just do it there for as long as possible. And when you do the hot one, you can put a drop or 2 of lavender essential oil. So that's the live today. I told you it's going to be a really short one, so I hope that was helpful. I'm going to save both of these lives on Instagram and YouTube, so you can watch them back again. There was one question that I saw that I'm going to answer it was about lymphatic drainage. It wasn't really a Q&A, but I'm definitely going to put the answer this question, because it's kind of related. It's all about cleansing and helping the body to do what it's supposed to do. Now, spring is a perfect time to do lymphatic drainage, because there's so many spring tonics out there at the moment that help with lymphatic drainage. Now, one of them, which you can go and do right this moment, well, if it's spring and you have this herb in your area, is to go and forage for cleavers. Now, you can forage for cleavers, or you can just buy it from the store, but it's nice to get some from the wild, because if you don't use it, who's going to use it? That's what they're there for. So cleavers, if you want to know more about cleavers, I've got a post on my Instagram page, which is a couple posts back, and it's a really good lymphatic drainage herb. It helps to get the lymphatic system moving. The lymphatic system is really important for your immune system, and it helps to remove toxins from the body and from the blood. So when your lymphatic system is stagnant, then your body's not going to be working optimally, and your immune system won't be the best. If you've got things like swollen lymph nodes as well. Hi, Antonio. If you've got swollen lymph nodes, then lymphatic drainage is key, and it will be really good for you. What you want to do with the cleavers, if you get some fresh cleavers, then you can make a juice from this. So you can either put it through a juicer, but you need like a lot of material and a really good juicer to be able to get some juice from the fresh cleavers that you pick. So what you can do, what I like to do, is just wash it, chop it up, and then put it in a really good blender with a tiny amount of water. Blend it up until it's totally smooth, and then just strain, put that through a sieve or through a muslin cloth, and then the remaining juice is what you drink. And do this every day. If you don't want to do that, if it's too much effort, just buy cleavers from the store, from your herb shop, or from your online herb shop, and then make an infusion, make a tea from this like you would normally do, and just drink this 3 times a day continually. What the key to herbs, when you're dealing with herbs, is to make sure you're doing it on a consistent basis. If you're doing it one day, then you might leave it for 2 days and do it again. Yeah, it might be helpful, but it's never going to be as helpful as if you're doing it consistently. So those are my tips on sinus congestion, and that's my answer for help for lymphatic drainage. Hope that was helpful. I hope everything was clear. If it's not, just let me know. But yeah, I'm glad it was informative. And yes, the contrast between the two. So that's the contrast between the hot water and the cold water. I'm sure that's what you meant. Yeah, hot and cold is really good. Hot and cold is really good for so many things. If you've got any swellings, if you've got any pain and inflammation in your joints, hot and cold, like swapping between hot and cold, is really useful. A really useful method to help deal with the pain and the inflammation. Oh, great. I'm glad it was I'm glad it was clear. And you're welcome, Debbie, for the question. Cool. So I'm going to save these videos. I hope you all have a great evening. I'm going to relax now. Had a long day of work. So yeah, I hope you all have a great day, if it's morning for you there, and a good evening too. All right. Take care. Bye.